course. Make no more excuses. I can't do that no more. If I search a word, then I'll find the key to being productive in my life and being a better me. I'll look upon the hills from which cometh my help. I'll wait upon you, Lord. Help me work on myself. This is my heart's desire, to please you more and more, to be productive. Yeah, 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 oh yeah, yeah. Let's get productive in every aspect of our life. No hesitation. Let the word define our life. In Him we will win. Victorious is who we are.
Three things I want to deal with that a fool represents in Proverbs 12 and 15. Notice that a fool is right in his own eyes. Notice, he says the way of a fool. The way of a fool. The way a fool chooses to do something can be right in their own eyes. So we want to deal with it. Number one, fool in the text has to do with a person who is stubborn. It's a stubborn person. A fool is a stubborn person. Stubborn being a person who is unwilling to change their behavior or their attitude. They're stubborn. And when you're in the seat of a fool, you can be stubborn. Come on, some of us acting like we're never there. I'm just wondering, have you ever dealt with somebody who thought they was right, but they was wrong? But they was being stubborn about coming in or admitting that they was wrong. See, the one thing we need to take away from today's subject is that when we wrong, we just wrong. I said, when we wrong, we just, woo-wee. I said, when we wrong, we just, I'm going to make that person, when I'm wrong, I thought somebody was going to help me. When I'm wrong, I'm just wrong. No need in trying to justify what I did or what I said. If I'm wrong, I'm just wrong. Come on. And no need in trying to make wrong be right. Come on. Because some folk will argue you down trying to make what is wrong right. And this is not a good trait for a child of God. It's not good when you can never admit when you're wrong. Again, some folk try to fix it. But how many know there are times that we mess up and there's no way to fix it? No way to fix that. Only way to fix it is just to admit it. To just come clean. Come on. But see, when people can't admit when they're wrong, they're going to cause confusion. They're going to cause chaos. Or they're going to get messy. Because they're unwilling to change. Just stuck being stubborn. And I'm going to say it again. When we are wrong, just come in. I've just learned over the year, the faster I come in, the faster I can get to changing or doing what it is that I should have did in the first place. The faster I come in. Now y'all hear me? I said I learned this. But see, the way of a fool or the way of a person who is stubborn, they just set on being right. Even when the scriptures reveal that they are wrong. Have you ever had to talk to somebody and you was giving them scripture upon scripture, line upon line, but you were dealing with a fool? You were dealing with somebody that just did not want to admit that they was wrong. Number two, a fool is a reckless person. It's a person who does things without thinking or caring about the consequences. They just reckless in their actions. Again, they do things without thinking about the consequences. You're about to do that, brother, but what if you're wrong? What if you make the wrong decision? What if you end up going down the wrong path? And see, the response of a fool would be, I don't care. That's a reckless person. And I'm telling you, don't join yourself to a reckless person. Don't get too close to a person who does not care about the consequences of their decisions or their actions. Ooh, I know I'm teaching right. You can't even get too close to a grown child that no longer cares about the consequences of his or her actions. That's a reckless person. See, as saints of God, we have to watch how we talk to each other. Because the way we treat each other, there are consequences behind our actions. I don't want to just mistreat somebody and then not even care that I talked to them wrong. Come on, don't even care about the way I hurt them. As saints of God, we can't be reckless people. You can't be a fool. You don't need to be a fool at church. You don't need to be a fool on the job. You don't need to be a fool at the house. You don't need to be a fool at Food Depot. You don't need to be a fool at the bank. You need to care about the decisions that you make. I told you that this is good sound teaching, because there are grown people who struggle owning what they do. Just being reckless, just saying the first thing that comes to their mind. How many have learned over the years that you just can't say? Oh, I said, you just can't say the first. Why you say that? That was the first thing came to mind. And so you just said it? You just put it out there like that? Don't you know there were consequences for what you said? And then you trying to justify it? You know telling the truth is right, but you told a lie anyway? There are consequences to lying when you know better. And if you tell one lie, you're going to have to remember that lie in order to cover it with another lie. And lies, like it or not, damage people. But a reckless person lies and don't care. Know they're lying. And we don't need to be stubborn folk. We don't need to be reckless people. Am I right? And finally, in the text, a fool represents a person who is silly. A person who lacks good judgment and makes unwise choices. I said they lack good judgment. I didn't say they lack common sense. They lack good judgment. And they make unwise choices. It's not just that some folks are in a bad spot, but being silly put them there. I say being silly put them there. Could be farther along, but won't stop being silly. I say won't stop being silly. And when told that they need to stop, try to justify silliness. Once you know better, you can't justify being a fool. Once you have been taught enough word to be wise, watch this, in every situation, there's no excuse for playing the fool. Come on, because the Bible said shame shall be the legacy of fools. I don't want to leave a legacy of being a fool, of being stubborn. 3 traits of a stubborn person. 3 traits of a reckless person, of a silly person. I'm going to give you 3 things that a fool don't like. Give you 3 things that a fool don't like. Some of you already like, Pastor, I don't want this. See, remember what I told you? He gives us sometimes what we didn't want to hear. He do that. See, because God himself knows, watch this, in this congregation, who's being stubborn. See, it's easy to come to church for an hour and a half and act wise. Say and do what is right. But unwilling to change at the house. Come on. Always having to be right. Again, don't get me wrong. It's easy to come to church and just pretend that you the type person that everything God said, Pastor, I'm just eating it up. I'm just receiving it. No way you're going to keep receiving from God week in and week out, but acting like a fool. Come on. It's tight, but some folks are behind for being foolish. Wonder why things don't work for them. Time to change. Time to stop being reckless. Come on. Time to stop writing checks and you know the money ain't in there. Come on. Reckless. Woo. Time out for saying, charge it. You've charged enough. Time out for not paying folk that you owe. Woo. See, he know. He know. He know. Can I be honest? You can fool me. You can fool me. I can talk to you for 15 minutes. And I can leave talking to you 15 minutes and I can say to myself, man, he know he wise. That brother, that's a wise brother. But see, fooling people, it ain't gonna get you where you need to be. Because if all you into is making folk think you something that you not, see, I got news for you. You never gonna be what you could have been. Come on. So there comes a time when you got to recognize, yeah, I'm food, but I need to change. I need to change because I'm tired of being broke. I know too much not to have. Come on, I know too much to be behind all the time. Never able to do what I need to do. Some of you been stuck on your jobs at the same position because rather than going to work, making good judgments, you there playing the fool. Come on. And nobody who's wise is going to promote a fool. Some of us reckless when it comes to our time. Then at the end of the week, ain't got nothing done to I need more time. What you want, 32-hour days? And some folks are so reckless that if God gave them 32-hour days, they still wouldn't get nothing done. Because next week they may try, well, if I had 38. You have to be wise with time. See, can you get this? I don't have time to waste. Only fools waste time. Time is a precious commodity. And I'm not gonna waste my time talking to a fool that don't want to change, trying to teach a fool who don't want to learn. Come on, tell your neighbor, time is a precious commodity, but not to a fool. Woo. Now, some of us, we done came in this house and received a word that was tailor-made for us in order to change our lives for the better. But we left the same way we came. Why? We were too stubborn to change. Too stubborn. Where I got y'all at? I'm just trying to see who paying attention. Where I got you at? What I'm about to tell you? I'm finna tell you 3 things that a fool don't like. Number 1, a fool does not like to be told what to do. A fool don't like to be told what to do. Now, in talking about being told what to do, we're saying that what they're being told to do is right. But a fool won't like it. And when you tell some folk what to do, you can't just leave it up to them. You got to go ABC. Come on. In other words, you got to make it plain. Because you talking to a fool. You talking to somebody, again, understand, whose way is right in their own eyes. You'll tell a fool what to do, and they'll know what you're saying is right. Watch this. And this is what really makes them a fool. They get mad at you. They stop speaking to you. And you, what did I do? You didn't do nothing wrong. You told that fool what was right. They're young adults. No, in totality, as far as being a full-grown adult, they don't know the way. They don't know. You just getting out there. You don't know the way. Don't try to tell me you just getting stuck. You don't know. You're smart, but you don't know the way. And then you try to tell them. for their own sake. And they won't listen. Won't call you back. You, look, need to talk to you. It's an emergency. Look, we really need to sit down and talk. Call me when you get a chance. You ain't going to get that call. Because they know you want to tell them what they should do. But like it or not, there are times we need somebody to tell us what to do, how to do, when to do. Don't you sit there and act like you don't ever need somebody to tell you what to do, how to do, and when to do. You don't know everything. There are times that if we're going to get to where God wants us to be, he's going to use somebody to tell us what to do, how to do, and when to do. But if you think, come on, if you think your way is just right, see, the way of a fool is right in his own eyes. Number two, a fool does not like being corrected. A fool don't like being corrected. Think when a person corrects them that they automatically just trying to hurt them. Trying to belittle. No. Whom the Lord loves. Come on. He what? He corrects. God don't send correction to hurt nobody. But a fool does not like being corrected. And finally, I said it, but it bears repeat. A fool don't like to change. Don't like to change. And see, this is the reason, instead of relying upon God, we'll go and do the opposite of what God would desire for us to do. And then in doing it, we think we're right. Did God tell you to do that? Did God tell you to go there? Did he tell you to handle it like that? Or did you just do it because it was right to you? Oh, let me slow down. This right here is a manual for life. Let's break down what a manual is. A manual is simply a book of instructions. I said a manual ain't nothing but a book of instructions. But this manual covers life in totality. Why are you doing that like that? You ain't read the manual? You don't know that don't work? Woo. How many have ever struggled doing something because you didn't read the manual? Come on, get them hands up. They're just an old quiet teacher. How many have ever struggled at something, but you didn't read the manual? Put your hand down. You be surprised you ride in folk car, they done got a new car. What that do? Oh, that just, it's, you know, they put a lot of stuff in these cars. Oh, you ain't read the, be out there trying to do something. You can't do that. Like, I think in order to do that, you got to, did they give you a manual? Yeah. We are laughing. Not too long ago, I ordered this entertainment center with a built-in fireplace. And when I pulled it out of the box, And I'm telling you, so many pieces. Big, thick manual. See, I'm trying to teach you something. Folk don't get too far who bypass manuals. The manual is there. You can tear up something not doing it the way you can't jump every car off today like you jumped them off 20 years ago. You can't even jump everybody off in certain cars. But when you don't read the manual, mess around and short your entire computer system. And so I looked at the picture. And I started building based upon that. Took me hours to put this thing together. And when I was done, I looked at it. And I said, wait a minute. Why is that gap in between the shelf and the fireplace? I said, that don't look right. Let me see what the manual says. Step 2. Be careful not to insert the fireplace upside down. Sweating. I said, no, I ain't finna start over. I said, no way. See, when I skip step 2, you better listen to me. As I was building on 3, 4, 5, step 7, step 8, my foundation, I was building on error.
Thank you for watching the Making People Productive broadcast with Pastor Leonard D. Cochran of A Place of Refuge, Noonan. To order your copy of today's message, please call the church office at 770-252-3855 and reference the message number listed below. We want to hear from you. If you have been helped, strengthened, or encouraged by the word, let us know. Also, don't forget to connect with us on all of our major social media platforms to receive exclusive information and updates with all things Refuge Noonan. A Place of Refuge Noonan is located in the city of Noonan, Georgia. If you would like to visit us, our worship times are every Sunday at 10:15 a.m. on location and live at 10:45 a.m. We also have service every Wednesday at 7:15 p.m. via Facebook and YouTube Live.